Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.
Hi, I'm Cherry Johnson with Watauga County Arts Council. If you've been around on a second Saturday or previously at our first Friday gala receptions when we were downtown, you know that we celebrate authors as well as visual artists and musicians and other kinds of artists. We have every month, we have at least one author who comes and shares their books with us and signs books and talks to folks about their books. And today I have with me Susan Farrah. We were just talking about the fact that you really go by 4 names.
I do.
And your names are?
Susan Chewy Williams Farrah.
And that's
my
your
maiden
history.
name and my first husband, where my daughter came from, and then my second husband, who I'm married to now. And they're all part of who I am and who I am today. So it was important for me to include all of me.
That makes good sense. I think that ought to be a trend.
I do too.
Okay, now you wrote 27 E-words that will change your life.
Yes.
Okay, now talk to me about this. What are the 27 words? Don't give me all of 27, I guess, but what is the concept of 27 E-words?
The concept is really overall, we are what we believe we are. And so grabbing hold of your life, living it intentionally, with passion, 100% alive, and encouraging yourself while you're encouraging others empowers you and empowers them. And it just totally will take over your life and make an awesome positive change.
So this is a positive change book in
Yes.
essence.
Yes.
And you've identified 27 words that all apparently start with the letter E that you feel are positive ways to enlighten your life positively.
Yes.
That's really cool. Now, what brought you to this point? Have you always been an author?
No, not really. Well, maybe secretly I have.
Most of them are.
But about 2.5 years ago is when I started, writing seriously. Before that, I had done some articles. My husband and I had a residential program for troubled women, and so I would do newsletters and brochures. So for years I had been dabbling in it, but never had the opportunity or the knowing to sit down and just start to write for a book until about 2.5 years ago. And it was just there in my heart and my head, and I sat down behind the keyboard and started typing and haven't stopped. So,
wow. So you're writing another book then?
Yes.
Do you know the name of it yet?
Well, I do. And actually it was the first book I wrote. This actually is not my first one, but it's the first to get published. But it is called So, and it is kind of self-discovery and the beginnings of the ministry, the program that we had, and the ladies, and just the awesome life changes that we witnessed. And there are some personal issues in there. I went through the death of both my parents, so that figures into the book, and maybe will help somebody be able to get through some grief. Yeah. So it's a combination, but again, it's an uplifting, positive.
So what's your background?
Well, I've been a nurse for 28 years. Probably in almost every type of nursing that possibly could be. But what I realized in all of it, I was mentoring people and coaching people and teaching people. And that taking the time to really build a relationship, embrace that relationship with them, and always with the encouragement. Even if you have to say something to someone who maybe they made an error and you have to counsel them on that. There's a positive way to do it, an encouraging way to do it. And so I've basically lived my life that way personally and through the workplace. And I think all of that kind of came together, and that's what the book's about.
Well, it sounds to me like you're a positive enabler in a lot of ways.
I think so too. Hopefully more positive than the enabler.
Exactly. And that this is just one of the tools that you're using to do that. Rather than being writing is the be-all and end-all of your life, that this is a tool that you seem to be using to achieve a bigger life mission.
Yeah. Well, I truly believe that everyone has such a great potential in them, and we already have everything we need to be successful. Sometimes we just need someone to help us bring it out in us, discover it and bring it out. So I guess overall that's my goal, is to try to help people reach their full potential and be excited about it. The writing started 2.5 years ago, and so did the painting. Because I was
getting ready to say, what are the other ways you're expressing this?
Yes. Well, for years, I've just admired those who can paint and dance and sing beautifully. But I've always wanted to paint, and it was in my mind that, well, one of these days I'll take lessons. One of these days I'll take lessons, and I just never did or never could afford to. And then one day it was just like, well, but you don't need to take lessons. You can sit down and you can paint, and you paint for your enjoyment. And so that's what I started doing, and found out that I just love it. And it helps bring out the creativeness in me, but also on those days where I'm stressed, I can go and create something, and it just relieves the stress. So absolutely.
Now, you've been talking to me about your painting and your books, and you've also been talking to me about workshops.
Yes.
Talk to me about the workshops that you're talking about doing.
Well, what I'm hoping to do with a collaborator of mine is to do a combination workshop. It's a creative. It will be bringing out the creative innerness inside you through art, some relaxation, probably through some yoga steps, and also, which I kind of outline in the book too, kind of like an imagery meditation, which really works on relieving some past negatives, some past difficulties, maybe something that someone's holding on to and can't let go, and it's affecting their future or their current situation. So we kind of go through an exercise, and at the end we're nice and relaxed and can flow right into the painting and into the yoga. And just in our fast-paced world, a lot of times we don't take time for ourselves. We think maybe that's a little selfish. But it's really not.
Or it gets put on the back burner.
It gets put on the back burner. I'll have time to do that when, the laundry's done, the cooking's done, and the kids have gone to all their soccer games, and we just sometimes forget to take care of ourselves. But we can't be the best for them or for us if we don't do some things that really make us happy and bring out our creativeness so that we can help our families, be the best that they can be. So that's what the workshops are about, just kind of getting in there and pouring out your soul on paper.
So it sounds like it would be impossible for me to say to you what's your biggest area of emphasis in terms of which form of doing this. And I don't think you could tell me. I think you seem so diversified in the way you're approaching this.
Well, I hope so. I mean, I think that everybody is able to receive a little bit different. Some people can read a book and
you're so right.
They just get it. Other people need a demonstration, or they need somebody to kind of be one-on-one, hand-in-hand with them. Kind
of relates to the multiple intelligence theory.
Yeah.
Which the Arts Council is a big proponent of, that children learn, for example, in a multitude of ways. Some learn by reading, some by hearing, some by doing, some by, other ways of doing it.
Yeah.
So you're kind of approaching your mission in the same way, that there are multiple ways that people get there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That is really cool. Now, I've got a question, though. Why E-words?
Well, several of my really, really core important words start with E. Encourage, engage, empower, and embrace. And when I sat down to write this, and as I was kind of doing the outline, there was more E words just popping out, and then it was just there. That it was going to be about E words. In the beginning, I didn't know how many E words, though. And I didn't have the 27, and so I was working on the book, and my daughter emailed me something, and because she was trying to encourage me, and it was that Dr. Seuss was turned down 27 times before a publisher accepted his first book.
Wow.
And just think about those 20, before the 28th person who said yes, those 27 publishers now who could probably say, oh my gosh, Dr. Seuss. But, and when I saw that, it just clicked with me. I put it on my wall. And as I was going on writing, all of a sudden, there were 27 E-words just popping out. And I said, okay, Dr. Seuss, we're going to use 27. And so that's where the 27 came from.
So it kind of emerged all on its own.
It did.
Now, I'm curious as to, you know, it's one thing to sit down and write things out. It's another thing to get them published. Because you mentioned that your first book had not been published previously either.
Right.
And so what made it possible for you to publish this book?
Well, I did research. For about 6 months, I really used the internet, got on the phone, talked to people, just really researched what others had done, what was out there available. Right. And traditional publishing is not, I mean, that's what it used to be. You had to send your manuscript in and just hope and pray that somebody out there would accept it. And it's not like that anymore.
Right.
Self-publishing is awesome, and that's what, in the end, I decided to do. This way, I basically had the control over my book, because I knew what it needed to say, because I just felt it down deep. And so that's what I did. And I researched several of them and came up with Balboa Press, which is the self-publishing side of Hay House, which is an awesome, you know, traditional publishing house. So they accepted me, and then we've been, you know, working together. And right now they're developing my website, which will be done next week. So I'm excited about that.
Congratulations on that. That's a big accomplishment all by itself.
It is. I didn't realize how much work it was.
Yes. Well, you know, it's as a little mini commercial here, the Arts Council is getting ready to offer some workshops to artists, and one of them is about your website, and one of them is about self-publishing. So we're on that same track.
Yes, that's fantastic.
So an opportunity to have more Susans come up and emerge from all of this.
Oh, I hope so. I think there's an author in each one of us. I really, really do. You know, we all have something to say, and we've all lived a life that we have created, and it's important. I think we all want to believe that we're not just here by chance, and that when it comes down to the end of our days, whenever that may be, that we feel like we have accomplished something, and we were here for a reason, and we did make a difference. And
is that what this book has done for you?
Yeah, it has. It has.
That's great.
Plus, I get to meet awesome people like you, Jerry.
Oh, thank you. We get to introduce you to the world.
I know. I'm excited about that. Hi, world.
And so when you folks have an opportunity to check this book out, they're going to have to go where to get a copy?
They can go to Amazon.com and also BalboaPress.com.
You're going to have to make this one of those Kindle type books. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, and they can.
Electronic book.
It is available ebook too.
Oh, good.
So
okay. Of course, it'd be an ebook, e-words.
Of course, why not?
Come and check out this book. Susan, are you going to be doing any book signings anytime in the near future that people could meet you?
I don't have anything scheduled, but I would like to. So hopefully that opportunity will come up.
They can email you or check your website to know about that. And you can also link to the Arts Council's website to learn more about this and so much more.
Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.